We at Sherman College, in fact, we in the chiropractic profession are blessed in that we have Doctors Thom and Betty Gelardi with us, the founders of Sherman College. And today we're going to talk to Dr. Gelardi about what his vision was like 50 plus years ago, even as a student, and what was it that made him want to become the developer and founder of a chiropractic college. I hope you enjoy this interview.
Okay, I want to thank Dr. Burla for inviting me to speak to you. I've always enjoyed my trips to Mexico, and it's always wonderful to see what has happened there. And I was with the leadership of the organization in Mexico when they were trying to get a college going there, and that was really something. You know, when you get an opportunity to speak, I tried to think of, well, what would be the most important things I could say that I feel? And I wrote down 3 or 4 ideas that I think I would like to, if I could only share 3 or 4 things with you, these are the things I would. There was an architect, or Daniel Burnham, and famous architect. You have to look him up and see just the great things that he had done in his life. And he wrote something that moved me, and so I just want to share it with you. He said, "Make no little plans. They have no magic to stir your blood or the blood of others, and probably will not be realized. Make big plans, aim high and hope and work. Remember," and these are 2 particular words, "a noble and logical diagram, once recorded, will never die, and long after we are gone, will remain a living thing, asserting itself with ever-growing insistency." And the one thing that I would like to leave behind is the idea that subluxations interfere with the expression of life and all of life's potentials. And I think that's the most important message and the reason why I'm in chiropractic. I remember my first trip to the chiropractor after my brother-in-law spent a year urging me to see a chiropractor. And I had a heart condition, and I said, nothing can help it. It's a genetic thing, and I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life. And I went to the chiropractor just because he kept annoying me about going. And the chiropractor said words I'll never forget. And he said, "You have a wisdom inside your body that's always striving to heal itself, to express life." And that just moved me. I never heard that before, and it seems maybe pedestrian today, but it just sounded fantastic at that time. Another thing that is, second thought I'd like to leave with you is Ayn Rand. She's my favorite. She wrote the book The Fountainhead, and one time I was talking to Dr. B.J. Palmer's daughter-in-law, and I was telling her about this terrific book I had just read. I said, well, when I was in school, becoming a chiropractor at Palmer College, BJ required that to be read by all of his students. And I never knew that BJ even knew of Ayn Rand when I was there. But one of the things that I love from Ayn Rand is this statement. And it's been said by many others, I found out later, not the exact statement, but the same sentiment. Nothing can be reasonable or beautiful unless it is made of one central idea. And that idea sets every detail. A profession is alive like a man. Now, she was talking about buildings, and she said a building is alive like a man. But I put in profession is alive like a man. Its integrity, a profession's integrity, is to follow its own truth, its one single theme, and to serve its own single purpose. And I think, what is the purpose of chiropractic? To improve health? Well, that's so broad and abstract. It doesn't really mean a great deal. Dentists do the same thing. Optometrists do the same thing. Many physicians do the same thing. But what is the one thing of chiropractic, the one truth of chiropractic? And that is that life is better without subluxation than with it. And that subluxations rob people of life expression. So the one idea, the one central idea of chiropractic is to, if a person's subluxated, correct the subluxation. And if they don't have a subluxation, then they don't need a chiropractor at that moment in time. There's a third thought I'd like to share with you in these few seconds. All professions have comprised of, well, in one sense, three parts. One is chiropractic education, or any kind of education. It's education, it's practice, what they practice after they graduated, and what are they researching. So that is the essence of a profession. It's education, practice, and service. But the profession is also has two divisions. One is, and it's sort of yin-yang in the Chinese expression, the balance. And one is the mission, and that is immovable. For as long as a profession exists, it has the same mission. Medicine is one of the oldest professions around, and it's about 2,500 years old, they estimate, and it's always had the same mission. Dentistry has the same mission today that it had soon after it evolved, and dentists were doing surgery on the body at one time, and then they dropped all the extraneous things and they focused on teeth and gums. Chiropractic has a mission to improve life. If someone's subluxated, we adjust the subluxation. And that is a fixed part. It's a priori. It doesn't come out of any research or anything but experience in the real world. For any profession, when professions begin to mix, healthcare professions, when they begin to mix and they don't have a mission of their own, they begin to die. And that has happened down for 2,500 years, that professions, health professions that didn't have a unique mission, perish. The other part of it is the evolving part. See, one part is fixed, your mission. The part that's evolving is a philosophy, science, and art. Philosophy, science, and art do not belong to any particular profession. It's just the art is appropriate to what you're doing. The art of dentistry, the art of surgery, the art of building houses or buildings, that art is unique to the profession. But art in itself is not, no one owns philosophy, no one owns art, and no one owns philosophy, art, philosophy, and science. No one owns science. So that is the movable part of our profession, the ever advancing. In the future, our philosophy is going to change. As new discoveries come about, it will change somewhat. The philosophy of healing has changed, but the mission stays permanent. And changing mission is destructive to a profession. Supporting mission is constructive.
So Dr. Gelardi, 51 plus years ago, you had this idea about opening a chiropractic institution, which you've done with Sherman College of Chiropractic. But one of your desires was to make sure that chiropractic was spread globally. And can you just talk to us a little bit about the importance of how important it is to have chiropractic in its purest form in Latin America?
Okay. And you stirred another thought in my mind also. I want to say this.
Good.
That the thought of having another college or starting a college occurred to me when I was a student.
Yeah.
And I said to some of my classmates, I would do that. And I practiced for 15 years. And having 5 children, that was an expense. And I had a very low fee. My patients all just about set their own fee for what they could afford. And I wanted family care. But I loved chiropractic. Even the weekends were the toughest days to get by. I'd go park my car in front of my clinic, and patients would see my cars, and they would come in. So that pleased me. But I wanted chiropractic, and I felt terribly sorry, and I still worry about people around the entire world, every place in the world, that don't have chiropractic. And so my idea was to spread chiropractic as far as I could, and our world view, or our view of chiropractic, should be world embracing. That we want to get everybody, not everyone needs an adjustment, but everybody needs to have their spines checked to be certain that they're not subluxated. And the other thing, I just believe, chiropractic saved my life. And they said I would never make it to 20 years old. So here I am in my 90s, and haven't seen a physician except for cataracts. I had cataracts removed. But other than that, my wife and I have never seen a physician. And I would be glad to see a physician if I needed one, because they do take care of some horrendous diseases and can make life comfortable. But I've always been very comfortable just living a normal, good life and not putting poisons into my body, and so on. But I just hope that people said you couldn't start a college. And I said, I just believe if it's the right kind of a college, it would be successful. And of course, there's been several presidents that have followed me, and they really added greatly to Sherman's success. And I hope you'll just keep that on your mind. Chiropractic doesn't belong to us, it belongs to the world.